Welcome to the Filthy Badge series,
Police officers take an oath to protect and serve,
where we go precinct to precinct finding the dirtiest cops.
Delhi joined the force in 2015, but tonight he's in jail charged with rape.
Some officers across the country are misusing that authority.
And now, the accused.
A Dallas police officer has been arrested for allegedly abusing and repeatedly sexually assaulting a 14-year-old sex trafficking victim during his lunch breaks. Officer Tyrone Williams Jr. was booked into the Dallas County Jail on a second-degree charge of sexual assault on a child. The Dallas Police Department initiated an investigation into Officer Williams last year after the daughter of a family friend told the authorities that he forced himself on her while she was sleeping at his house. After spending a brief period of time in the juvenile detention center, the minor began living with Williams, which is a friend of her mother. The teen stated that Williams assaulted her on her very first night in his home. She also claimed that Williams would repeatedly sexually assault her during his lunch breaks and added that she feared Williams would kill her if she came forward. Williams turned himself in to the authorities on June 14, 2021, and was placed on administrative leave by the department. The victim reportedly stayed at Williams' South Oak Cliff home after having an argument with her father. The officer was reportedly friends with the girl's parents. Later that night, while the girl was sleeping in Williams' daughter's bedroom, the cop came in and began to do things that he wasn't supposed to. Williams' daughter wasn't home during the time the sexual assault occurred. That first night, the girl managed to push him off of her until she could break free and then locked herself inside of a bathroom. According to the police department, Williams was then placed on administrative leave while an internal investigation was being conducted. He's been with the police department since 2009 and was assigned to the South Central Patrol Division. In a similar but unrelated incident, an Indian father allegedly mercilessly sexually assaulted his own daughter after taking her to a hotel on the pretext of a supposed scheduled job interview in Haryana, India. The father would begin to record the ordeal while he was sexually assaulting his daughter and threatened if she told anyone he would release the footage to everyone in the village. A few days later, the daughter managed to find the time alone with her mother after going to a market to buy produce and proceeded to narrate the horrifying assault. The man was then booked under Section 376, sexual assault, of the Indian Penal Code and several sections of the IT, Information Technology, Act of 2000. Williams was also accused by an attorney of assaulting at least 2 other underage girls for a total of 4, but the statute of those 2 cases wasn't clear. The additional victims were identified in June, but didn't say why it took nearly a year to file the second charge. Attorney Hunter Gano, who represents 3 of the women, said that these new charges are not new allegations. He said of the 3 women that he represented, who were girls at the time of the alleged sexual assault, who tried to report that they'd been assaulted years ago, but are just now being heard. It was shortly after Williams' arrest last summer that attorney Hunter Gano got a call from someone claiming she and 2 others were also victims. Beno took his clients to the Dallas Police Department to speak with detectives. That conversation ultimately resulted in Williams' arrest. According to the court records, she stated she met suspect Williams when he was working in an official capacity as a Dallas police officer. The records state that in 2010, Williams and another officer picked up the girl at a Dallas hotel, where they learned she was a victim of a human trafficker who was later convicted and sentenced to 12 years. The attorney described his clients as vulnerable at the time of the sexual assaults. The girls tried to report this to agencies like Child Protective Services, who said any investigation would be confidential under state law and that every case they get into is also referred to law enforcement. Lancaster police said that they weren't able to find anything in their system matching these details. The arrest warrant affidavit does include 2 additional accusations of sexual assault, but we're not clear of the status of those cases. But what we do know is that this monster remains behind bars for the time being.
He'll take us to his house and just stuff started happening.
He knew that I came from a bad situation at home. I was a runaway, and he used that to his own advantage.
This police officer in particular in some way had a relationship with their mother. I'm not talking about, I don't know what the nature of that was, but he said he would mentor them.
The first night that my mother left me alone with him, he abused me. I was thinking to myself, no one's gonna believe me because he's a police officer.
If we wouldn't do stuff with him, he'll threaten us.
I was threatened.
He would threaten us a lot.
No charges were filed, and Williams stayed on the force.
It's odd that they slipped through somehow at every level of protection that society has. Your family, the schools, the hospitals, and then the police. The little girl that came out last year, for whatever reason, she was believed and it got in the news, which gave my friends confidence to come out.
DPD detectives went back to investigate their sister's cases and arrested him again last week and charged Williams in one of their cases.
I broke into tears because I knew he had did this to me around the same time, same age, very similar way.
Unfortunately, there are some kids that don't have all of the support of family or all of the support at school. And so you hope that when they finally get to the point where they're with the police, they're going to get the support there. This is a group of girls that did not get that support at any level.
Don't be scared to tell your story about anything.
Tyrone Williams Jr.
His attorney, Scotty Allen, said, unfortunately, good officers aren't immune from patently false and totally unsupported allegations. These young ladies were severely troubled youth with a myriad of disciplinary and mental health issues.
No bond has been set, so he remains in custody.